Dear heads of state and government, dear Director General of the World Health Organization, dear Tedros, the pandemic is not over, but we can draw many lessons from it already. And indeed, for more than 1 year already, we have all been fully mobilized in the daily management of this crisis. But the time has come, and you have given us this opportunity to do so through this exchange, to really learn some lessons from this pandemic. The first lesson that we can learn from this pandemic is that we can only succeed together. No country alone will save itself, and no country alone will save the others. Every citizen around the world has understood that this pandemic is a global one, by definition, and through the mechanisms of infection, it is a global one, and therefore our responses have to be global. Therefore, the only international response has to be cooperation, and we must join our efforts according to subsidiarity. We must make sure that we cooperate in terms of healthcare treatment at the regional level. We must also cooperate in terms of research, investment, and planning. And to do so, we have established the Europe for Health initiative, and we will continue to bolster it. At the international level, there will also be coordination, surveillance activities, sharing of information, and also solidarity. Now, on this last topic with our European partners, we have put forward concrete proposals. First of all, we have to have institutions that are up to the task, that meet our ambitions. The World Health Organization has to be the heart, has to be the compass of our global health approach. This organization has to be robust in times of crisis. It has to be flexible enough to react during emergencies, and it has to be solid when it comes to controversies, and it must be completely transparent to make sure that people trust the organization. There must not be any political pressure, and there must not be any suspicions of pressure that has been exerted. France, therefore, supports the reinforcement of the World Health Organization in its normative role. In that regard, we must improve the funding of the World Health Organization for it to be more sustainable, more predictable, and less dependent on several big donors. We should also study the proposals that are on the table today to reinforce the independence of the organization. Now, secondly, we should work collectively to reinforce the implementation of the IHR. To do so, I would like France to participate in a pilot project of a peer review to the capacity for response during pandemics. We must also give the possibility to the WHO through rapid response missions to be available in the field as soon as there are the very first signs of a pandemic that are raised. Now, I would like to attribute to the WHO a competence of investigation on pathogens that potentially might lead to a pandemic that would give them rapid access to all territories around the world. Now, transparency and sharing of data are absolutely fundamental. The health crisis has reminded us that the health crisis cannot be dissociated from the animal environment. Now, this is the famous One Health approach, which must guide our efforts to be better prepared for future pandemics. And on this aspect, we have started to work together. In fact, in November, we launched in Paris this initiative, and we must continue to make this initiative more concrete. And finally, this is something that is very important to me, the current pandemic, with all of the misinformation attributed to it, has allowed us to understand how important science is and how important data is. Access to trustworthy, reliable data and information is absolutely fundamental. They will be extremely important when we will have to deal with the repercussions in the years and decades to follow. This is why in June 2019, we set up with the WHO a WHO Academy that will train healthcare workers, that will train also the leaders of companies and civil society organizations, because health, if it is based on science, is something that affects us all. 2 years on, I am very pleased to announce that thanks to you, dear Dr. Tedros, that the World Health Organization Academy has been launched. France will invest more than 120 million euros in this academy. It will become the reference establishment at the global level for public health. Now, its doors will open in Lione in 2023. And as of this summer, there will be a very first catalog of training sessions available. France, therefore, would like to fully commit itself to the future negotiations on the WHO transformation. To advance very quickly, as of this WHO, the resolution sponsored by the EU on the reinforcement of the WHO in emergency health activities would be a strong signal of this. I would also like you to consider adopting the pandemic treaty. Now, these are the few convictions, a few words that I wanted to share with you, Dr. Tedros, and dear all. Be assured of France's full commitment in these endeavors, today and for the future. Thank you very much.